It turns out that there was a young researcher at the time, Ted Fotis, who had moved from Greece to Switzerland to do research. And when you're a young researcher in a lab, they kind of give you the junior guy, the least interesting stuff to do, and they give you kind of the leftovers. So he got in there, and it was a hormone lab, by the way. It was a
Oh,
lab about
nice.
hormones. And this hormone lab in Switzerland pioneered the ability to look for estrogen in urine, in women's urine. So we're going back to the really late 1970s, early 1980s. All right. And it turns out they gave this young researcher, Ted Fotis, they gave him a crate of old urine samples from women that they didn't want to use anymore. And they're like, here, this is your project. Go figure out something interesting to do with it. So he looked in the urine and he found the estrogen, right? Because these are women.
Mhm.
And what he found, though, when he was analyzing the urine, there was this weird spike that came out of the urine that he'd never seen before. In fact, nobody had actually
Okay.
seen it before. So in the lab, he cut the spike out. This is how you do it. You cut the spike out and you analyze what is the spike. That spike was a natural compound from soy called Genistein. And so his lab basically said, so what? You know, because it didn't come from
Right.
humans. Don't forget, this lab was studying human estrogen. And so he
Right.
found this weird estrogen like spike out of women, they cut it out. And they said, well, it didn't come from humans, it didn't come from the women. Where did it come from? It came from soy.